Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayfeather 24BH travel trailer. Guys, I picked a pretty cool trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. First thing I want you to take into consideration is how much room you're going to need for your slide. You might want to measure that ahead of time, or if you got a good eye, you can eyeball it. Make sure you got plenty of room for that to come in and out unhindered. Preferably nothing hanging over top, even though you have slide toppers. This keeps them cleaner. Then I want you to think about where your power and water hookups are. Power is going to be all the way at the rear on your off camp side. And the same thing with your water. Your water is going to be just behind the slide on your off camp side or your driver's side of the tow vehicle. So park accordingly so that you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we've arrived and got our unit parked, first thing we're going to do after unhitching is level our unit. If you have a docking light on your power tongue jack, simply lower or raise your unit. Put a stick on level on the side of this, right about the middle on your off camp side so it's unsightly. And go ahead and get your unit level. Now, should you not have power, you do have a manual override here underneath this rubber stopper. Is for this hand crank. If you need the hand crank, losing power, need to raise or lower this, simply use the hand crank. Speaking of power, when you arrive, you might want to check your battery terminals. Make sure everything's nice and tight in there. Once we got our unit level, next thing you're going to do is stabilize it. Now, all four corners of your unit, you got these stabilizing jacks and a 3/4 inch hand crank. 3/4 inch socket there. Simply crank these down. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. Run these down in a matter of seconds. I just recommend if you do that, go slow when you get to the bottom, because remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. You don't want to bring these down until they're taut. I do recommend jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Get you a 4-pack of those from our store and put them down. And run these down again just until they're taut. Remember, stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. Go around to all four corners, put them down, raise or lower if necessary if you went down too far and you've moved the unit. Once we've got our unit level and stable, next thing we're going to do is hook up our power and water. Coming to the rear of the unit again. You have this 30 amp cord. Show you the way these hook up now. Got a black washer. These push on and then turn to the right and then turn your black washer. You know that's locked in. At the end of this 30 amp service, should you need it, will be a 30 to 110 adapter. If you need to plug into 110 at home. Our power hooked up, let's hook our water up. Come right here above your shower. Here's your city water connect. First and foremost, water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting water into your city water connect or your black tank flush. Simply open this up, hook up your hose with your water pressure regulator, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's go around to your campsite and find your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point Just making sure our drain plug's back in. We open this up, this will remove right off from here. And we turn our drain plug. Get that in there nice and tight. Once that's in there all the way, you can go ahead and turn your hose on. Now, if your hose has been on for a little while, you're going to pull on this pressure release valve. That's going to let the air out of the lines until you get a nice steady flow of water coming out of there. Then you know your hot water heater is full and can be turned on from indoors. Now there is an on-off switch down here for electric element. Only turn this on out here and indoors at the same time if you're hooked up to 110. You don't want to use this on anything else. If your hot water heater is not working, come on here and check these bubbles. Sometimes that'll be sticking out. Just simply press it back in. It's a reset button. Now let's say we're going camping and we're not going to hook up to city water. We're going to use potable water. Ain't that easy, because the potable water tank is just to the left of your hot water heater. Open this up. You can fill this up with just a hose. Water pressure regulator is not necessary. Two ways to tell when this is full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. And two, you can go inside and hold your fresh tank button down and you can tell when it's full from in there. Again, burp your hot water heater the same way, get the air out of the lines, turn it on the same way. But just remember, when you're using potable water is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to city water. It's unnecessary. All right, we got our water and electricity hooked up. I'm going to walk you around the rest of the unit and show you a few other things. Starting here on your campsite. This is all prepped for TV. You have cable and a couple of 110s here. Again, your potable water, your hot water heater. This is your furnace heat release. When your furnace is running, steer clear of that. It gets rather hot. Up here is a vent for your microwave. A couple of outdoor speakers and your big awning. We'll run that out in a couple minutes to show you how far to run that out. Your separate bedroom door. Your big pass-through storage here. There's your quick connects for your grill. We'll get to that. A cover for your propane tanks. Speaking of propane tanks, you have a regulator on here. Simply point this toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty-loosey for on. Again, your battery post. Power tongue jack. This is prepped for solar on the side. You can hook a solar panel up here and it'll trickle charge your batteries. Inside this side of your pass-through storage is your battery disconnect. That'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide detector. This will shut off all the battery power to the unit. Coming around to your slides, the only thing I want to mention on your slides is these are called wipers. To add to the longevity of these, you want these to stay pliable. So they actually have what's called a wiper fluid. You can pick some of that up from our store and apply that to these. Keeps them nice and pliable. Underneath here, I've got you slide out already because I want to show you how much room you're going to need. Right up in there, you'll see it easier when I close the slide when we're leaving. Here's your low point drain. Big storage here. Over here, your city water connect, your black tank flush, a nice outdoor shower, 2 gray tanks and a black tank. And here's where your cable will hook up at the park. Spare tire with the cover. Your unit's also prepped for a Furrion backup camera. Should you decide to purchase one from our store, it's a device that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, allowing you to electronically communicate with this and giving you a backup camera for the unit. Your ladder, go up and check your seams as necessary. Caulk as needed. And some storage here. This will actually fold up here in your bunk area. A couple tie downs, you can throw a bicycle or 2 up in there. Your low point drain. You'll drain these when leaving the campsite. Going around here to your outdoor kitchen. You have some lighting up in here. Your fridge plugs in there. Oh, here we go. Turn them on, then turn that back on. Your fridge plugs in there. Your grill will pull out here. Underneath here is a quick connect LP. Right there. And it goes down to here. Your hose is in the front compartment. You also have on this side pull out cutting board and sink. There's your hose for that. Yeah, this will shut down and lock. You have a nice light for underneath the stairs. You see the steps as you're coming in at night. All covers everything outside. Let's go inside. First and foremost, you see your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone knows that the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming in your unit here, right here on the wall, is your control panel. We'll start at the top. Battery, this is where you check your levels. This is where I said you can hold the fresh button in and tell when your potable water is full. Your black and 2 gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water heater if you're hooked up to electric. Here's where you turn it on if you're hooked up to gas. Here's where you turn on your water pump and using potable water. Here's a nice awning light. Over here's your living room lights, your slide extension, and your awning extension. I'm going to run your awning out real quick. Just show you how far to run those out. So what you're going to do is you're only going to run this awning out until that flap right there falls down to 90 degrees and you see your bar. That's how far you want to run that out. It will extend a little further and you don't want to do that. Retract to bring that back in. Finish that in a moment. Come around inside your unit, your Insignia TV. There's a remote for that. Just want to mention, behind your television is a swivel. Coming down here into your control center. Right here where your cable goes in, you can switch from cable to antenna. Make sure that's on antenna before you scan for digital channels. Can't really see it here, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Put that on antenna before scanning for your digital channels. That'll allow you to pick up more channels. It's a digital channel enhancer. Your IRV technology sound system. You can play your music indoors. It's on Bluetooth right now. Let's go to FM. Hit your scan. I'm going to pick up very many channels here in this building. You can play your music indoors, shut it off indoors, and just have it outdoors. Hold the button in. Coming over to your self-explanatory microwave. Does have a fan and a light. Turn on a little more lighting in here. A lot of individual touch lighting. The glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. You'll notice when you turn your gas on, you'll go from blue to red. Hit your spark, and there's your flame. Same thing in the oven. You have an oven light here. Turn this on here. Start it over here. No more pilot light below. It all starts from here. Have a little pop-up USB 110 port, power port, they call it. It'll store down. Stores flush. Again, your individual lighting. Coming around the corner here, you do have this nice table extension. Let's talk about what's underneath it. This is an access panel to your fuses and breaker box. Looks like you got a bunch of 15s down there. I'd recommend grabbing a handful of those from our store. Have them with you when you go camping. A couple other things in your living room. We'll start on the floor here with your 12-volt carbon monoxide detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're going to be gone for the day, nothing charges your battery, use that battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down. Up above that is your thermostat. Simply change it from off to auto fan to auto cool to auto heat. Just over here, set the desired temperature. This is a template for if you decide to go full solar on this unit. This is where it's all pre-wired. Leave that on there for the techs if you ever decide to do that. Again, I told you your storage here, your bunk will fold up and store. It'll lock right up here. Maybe lighting up in your bunk area. Top bunk with a USB port back there in the corner. Coming to your fridge. Furion all electric fridge. Nice unit. Coming into your bedroom. Turn the lights on. Turn on your accent lights above the bed. behind there. USB ports. Again, one-touch lighting up in here. Same on both sides. You have storage under your bed. Right here on the end. A hand crank open vent. Again on this side, same thing as the other USBs. This is also prepped for a TV back here. There's a bracket back here if you want to mount it, put a TV mount on here. There's your 110 and cable. About covers everything on the inside. Your smoke alarm. Make sure these doors are bungeed back when traveling. Your AC. And your lighting for above the dinette. That about covers everything on the inside. It's act like we're leaving the campsite. So first thing I would do is I come over and I shut off the living room lights. That shows me all the individual lights that I need to go around the unit and turn off. One more in the bunk area. Turn the living room lights back on. I forgot to mention in your bathroom, one thing I wanted to mention in here, lighting and fan, is this is where your 110 with GFCI reset is. Alright, now we've got all the lights off. We want to make sure nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. Make sure nothing's on the floor, all the drawers are closed. And let's go slide out, retract. Comes in rather quickly. Make sure that your cable extension is in. You don't need that hitting anything. Now I held that for a second because I wanted you to hear that noise. Don't panic when you hear that. It's okay to hold for a couple seconds. That's just how the slide keeps itself from coming in too far or out too far. You hear the noise going out too. Don't worry, you're harming nothing. Shut off our living room lights. Shut off our awning light. And let's head on out the unit. Alright, let's talk about bringing in your solid step above steps. First and foremost, make sure your door's all the way open. Lift this up. See how important it is to have that door open that can catch on it. Let this come in slowly. Pull the handle back and lock this in. Close your exterior door. Lock and deadbolt your door. Lift and turn the handle. Unhook any propane. Come over to your hot water heater. Bleed the water out of the lines now. And remove your drain plug, preferably with a socket, because remember that wicked hot water coming out of there. Bring up all 4 of our stabilizing jacks. Come around to the back of the unit. Go down here to our low point drain and open up both of those. Drain all your waters out. If you're using potable water, you'll come to this low point drain and turn that white knob. Close everything up and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, take your sewage hose in your convenience pack and hook it up and pull your black handle. After your black handle's run a little while and it sounds like it's no longer draining, you're again going to take your water pressure regulator and hook it up to your black tank flush. With your black handle open, hook the hose up and run that for a good 5 minutes. What that's going to do is it's going to spray out your black tank and get all that nastiness out of there. After about 5 minutes, go ahead and unhook that. Close your black handle. Pull this gray handle back here. Let that drain and then pull this second gray handle. It's going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. It's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you can conveniently come here to your bumper and store your sewage hose in there. Again, Thank you for your purchase. Hope you guys enjoy this Jayfeather for many years to come. Happy camping.